The first round of the French presidential election will be on the 23rd of April. The way it works is that multiple candidates stand in the first round. The two candidates who receive the most votes will proceed to a second round head-to-head. The second round is scheduled for 2 weeks later, the 7th of May. At the moment, looking across the number of polls, there appear to be 5 potential candidates. Marine Le Pen of the National Front, Emmanuel Macron of En Marche, François Fillon of the Republicans, Jean-Luc Mélenchon of Unsubmissive France, and Benoît Hamon of the Socialist Party. In the interest of time, I'll focus on the 4 who are currently top of the polls, but it's important not to forget the other candidates, because even if they do not progress to the second stage, their supporters will have a major say on who wins the election overall. There's been some talk of the currently 5th place Socialist Party joining forces with Unsubmissive France, which may explain some of the recent uptick in support. Currently sat in 4th place is Jean-Luc Mélenchon of Unsubmissive France. He is an admirer of Hugo Chavez and Mao Zedong, the man who killed 70 million people. Mélenchon is far left. He supports reducing the working week from 35 hours to 32, lowering the retirement age to 60, raising the minimum wage and social security benefits, taxing earnings above €33,000 at 100%, and withdrawing from nuclear power that currently provides 75% of France's energy. In other words, he would bankrupt France. The party is somewhat Eurosceptic, wanting to take back a lot of control from the European Commission. They're also sceptical of the UN and NATO. Mélenchon was formerly the Minister for Vocational Education in the early 2000s when he was in the Socialist Party. If Mélenchon is eliminated in the first round, it's hard to say where his support is made effect to, but it's unlikely that they will go to the Republicans, who are currently sat in 3rd place with François Fillon. Fillon was the Prime Minister of France under Nicolas Sarkozy between 2007 and 2012. He's also previously held a number of senior government roles. His ideology is generally centre-right. He's openly praised Margaret Thatcher on her economic policies. His manifesto includes tax cuts, removing the 35-hour work week, reforming welfare so that it pays to work, cutting government spending, reducing immigration to the bare minimum, and seeking to reform the EU to give member states greater sovereignty. However, a couple of things have dogged his campaign. First, an obvious question is why didn't he achieve these things when he was Prime Minister? Second, it seems his polling has been negatively affected by a scandal of him allegedly illegally employing his wife. Currently narrowly in 2nd place is Emmanuel Macron. Macron is quite young at 39 years old. He was an investment banker before joining the Socialist Party and working as the economy minister under President Hollande. He quit the party in 2016 so he could run under the banner En Marche. In terms of economic policy, he's generally seen as a fairly centralist, with a mixture of left and right-wing policies. On the labour market, he's proposing to cut back some public sector jobs, reduce corporation tax, get tougher on unemployment benefits, give greater flexibility on the 35-hour working week and retirement age. He also wants to cut some property taxes and increase public investment on the training of tradesmen. As he was previously the economy minister, the inevitable question to ask is, why hasn't he already made the reforms he thinks are needed? He has been very negative about Brexit, saying that if he was president of France, he would be tough on the UK. He is very much in favour of the EU and has been clear that he wants France to stay within Schengen and the Euro. And finally, Marine Le Pen. The mainstream media has repeatedly referred to her as far-right. However, most of her policies are pretty left-wing. She's not calling for a reduction in the size of the state and in some places supports economic protectionism. The reason much of the media are trying to brand her far-right is that she wants to reinstate borders and reduce immigration. Although controlling immigration used to be a policy accepted across most of the political spectrum, in the last few years the larger left-wing parties in Europe and America have been against this. Most of the mainstream media are left-wing, and so there's a general attempt to brand any kind of immigration control as racist and right-wing, effectively trying to make right-wing a pseudonym for racist. Whether it should be good for France is another matter, but the scaremongering is massively overblown. In terms of policies, she said that unless the EU returns a substantial amount of sovereignty to France, that she will wish to hold a referendum on France leaving the EU. Some polls have France being more Eurosceptical than the UK, which is understandable given the unemployment rate in France is around 10%, more than double the rate in the UK. Part of this is due to France being in the euro, so not being able to devalue its currency. It is particularly high amongst the youth and has stayed high for a number of years now. She would seek to take France out of Schengen, reinstate borders and reduce immigration to 10,000 a year. She is proposing to be tough on criminals and Islamic extremism. Other policies include increasing the role of direct democracy, maintaining the 35-hour working week, cutting taxes for low earners, increasing vocational education and raising disability benefits, among a range of other measures. Many refer to Le Pen as authoritarian. However, it should be noted that much of her manifesto talks about protecting the rights of the individual. It is true her party has had a history of anti-Semitism. Marine's father, Jean-Marie Le Pen, previously referred to the Holocaust as merely a detail. He has since been expelled from the party. Many people see these previous ties as unforgivable and do not believe that the party has moved on. It is perhaps interesting to see that Le Pen is polling very well amongst 18 to 25-year-olds, which might suggest that if she doesn't win this election, she may be in a better position for the next, although 5 years is a very long time in politics. Currently, odds are favouring Macron, but as we've seen over the last year, anything can happen.